So if I had one wish, I would really desire confidence. Confidence from operators that things will rebound, that things will get to better than they were in 2019. I think we're seeing the early signs of that already. But operators need to invest, okay? And investment cycles are long. So the time to decide for new investment to support future growth isn't now. That was already 6 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago. So operators need to agree on their strategy, what needs investment, and then have those funds available, because right now old technologies are dying out and we do need investment to support ever-growing consumer demand.
To see recovery from in traffic, in roamers, in trips, to go back to pre-pandemic situation, of course, but also recovery of the trust in the industry. I think that's one of the key elements that we need now in order to be able to set basics to make all the developments that we need to do. So in terms of 5G, of low power wide area networks.
We've all spent the last 2 years with the roaming market in a unique state. Roaming has changed, folks are not traveling as much. Industries that used to be key parts of the travel world have stopped going. Now we start seeing them return. I mean, just with this event here at Mobile World Congress, we're starting to see the beginnings of that. And 2022 is an opportunity for operators to look at where those trends are going and how they want to shape their business going forward. We see tremendous growth in a variety of areas, in the enterprise space, in recapturing some of the value that to their consumers and retail subscribers, as well as how they might look in terms of new business cases as new technologies come on and they're able to leverage those for new offerings, new ways of going to market, and new solutions that position them as well as competitively in the roaming ecosystem.
So the biggest challenge is with the adoption of all those technologies, the VoLTE, the 5G, the complexity just tends to grow. So the challenge is how to deal and to manage this complexity. Is to simplify the end-to-end roaming agreement life cycle, making sure that everything is connected, everything is planned, and everything is executed in the right way. It's how to deal with the complexity.
Yes, the biggest challenge we see for roaming this year is to get more content, more services onto the roaming business to drive more value for the enterprises.
I think there are three main themes. One is scale, the second is innovation, and the third is security. Scale, I mean, we're coming back from a pandemic that heavily impacted us all. So I would like to believe that what is happening, what will be happening this year to us is the same what happened to us in 2017, 2018, when Roam Like Home was just introduced. We get a lot of calls from operators that are, I wouldn't say panicking, but close to panicking on the scale and the growth that they should do. Should I buy 100 gig interfaces? Should I buy 400 gig interfaces? How much can I scale? So I think coming back from the pandemic will cause at least a factor 2 to 3 more growth than they anticipated so far. So how can you handle that efficiently and with the right quality? So that's number one. The second one is innovation. That is of course tied to scale as well. If you start introducing 5G and IoT, especially 5G creates an enormous amount of traffic, which comes on top of the already increased traffic because we're coming back from the pandemic and the better phones and people are getting more used to Roam Like Home packages. So 5G will introduce another layer of scale. And if people start introducing 5G SA, that means a whole new plethora of use cases and potential customers that will need to have roaming. So that's where the innovation comes from. And what's in innovation also very important is of course IoT. So let's first be sure that all the roaming analytics can be done well, such that we can recognize the regular roaming traffic from the IoT traffic, because devices need to be treated differently than humans obviously. So you need to recognize them first before you can do some policing on them. So it's very important that analytics is well being taken care of. And third, and last but not least, is security. With the advent of IoT and 5G, there will be a lot of security issues. SS7 is not secure, diameter is not secure, 5G should be secure from design, but it isn't. So we need to make sure that security is being dealt with across all channels, not only SS7, diameter and HTTP2, but also GTPC and maybe even GTPU. Because the advent of IoT creates a lot of ingress points for hackers or other malevolent sources to take abuse of the network. So those three things are really important.